Hello, it's me, Rachel from Tarot Tidbit 78, and I am very excited to share with you a little sneak peek of a new collection from one of my favorite tarot artists that will be out on Kickstarter this month. This is the Green Glyphs collection from James R. Eads, and I was absolutely just thrilled when he and his team reached out to me to get an advance copy and kind of take a little look before everyone else and share with my followers my thoughts on the collection. Just give you a little preview. So this deck is stems off of a previous Kickstarter that James did, the Green Glyphs Lenormand. That was a couple years ago. I have that deck as well. It's absolutely beautiful, but this is it reimagined and redesigned and repackaged into this huge oracle collection. So the idea of it is you have a tarot deck, a tarot deck, an oracle deck, a Lenormand deck, and a rune deck, along with a big glossary. And you are able to kind of mix and match, combine all these decks together. You can get one deck, you can get two decks, you can get all four of them. And the cool thing about it is they have the exact same specs. They're the same size, same cardstock, same edging, same back. So you can really take these decks, and even though it's a big collection, you can put it into one deck or do whatever you want with it. So what I'm going to do is just give you a quick overview today. We're not going to get too in depth with it, because what I'm going to do the rest of the month on my Instagram page, which is at Tarot Tidbit 78, I am going to post flip throughs, like full flip throughs of each of these four decks. We're going to do cards of the day posted there, and we're also going to do story pulls. So if you want to get a card pulled from one of these decks yourself, go ahead and go to my page, and it'll be up in my stories, and we can do that for you. So a little background information on this Kickstarter. This is his 7th Kickstarter, and it's going to start on October 3rd and run through the 31st. So basically the whole month of October, you'll have a chance to back this. There are special Kickstarter prices. So if you want to order the decks on Kickstarter, not only are you going to help bring this project to life, but you'll also get a little discount, which is one of the reasons why I've backed so many Kickstarter campaigns in my life, and also just really enjoy that platform as a pledge, like a crowdfunding pledge taking situation. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to briefly show you all four decks and the book, and then we'll go over prices and where you can find everything after that. So first things first, actually, let's look at the edges. Look at how pretty all of this holographic foil is. It's all over the entire box. The bottom will have the name on it for you. It won't say advance copy, but it'll just have the name of the collection on it with more foil. Very, very pretty and almost understated. The tones and the color palette for this collection is all very muted. Similar to the Lenormand that's already available. So the decks are all the same kind of glyphs on them, with a different color for each one, and on the backs you'll be able to see which deck is which. This is the tarot deck. It's a standard 78 card tarot deck with a 22 minor or major arcana, and then all of the minor arcanas, all four suits with the courts and everything for that. It has a magnetic box, which I think is one of my favorite kinds, and it has that foil all over. It also has James's signature kind of brush stroke throughout it, and another little foil piece. The set comes with the big guidebook, that full color glossary, but each individual deck will come with its own guidebook as well. So if you just want to get one of the decks, you don't need to worry. You'll still have the meanings there for you available. So you'll still have that information, you just won't have it all together. Each one of the guidebooks in the back says, and now you know a quarter of the story, which I think is really cool, because like I said, his vision is to kind of bring these together into one super large deck. So this is the little guidebook, a nice ribbon pull here, and some of the details you'll see in insides of everything. There's always going to be a little like cute details. So this is the sun and the moon, and it's really adorable. but the cardstock, the size is about the size of a Lenormand deck. Since they are all going to be the same size, they didn't want to make it too big. This also helps because it's easier to shuffle smaller cards when there's a lot of them, just because it's just easier for hand size. I don't care what size your hand is, it'll make it easier. So this is the standard tarot deck. We won't go through the flip through today, but you can see the edges has that same gold holographic foil to it. It's very pretty. And this is going to be the back of every deck. We'll look through every one, but it's going to be this nice green, kind of almost understated compared to the sides, with the glyphs on them. So this is the tarot deck. I love it. I have several of James's other decks besides the Green Glyphs Lenormand, blah. Like all of his, like the Prisma Visions, Light Visions, Cosmo Visions, the little mini versions. I just love his artwork. So this is the second deck. This is the Oracle deck. It has the green box, and this one's fun because the cards actually have, well, we'll see. We'll get in there. We'll get in and we'll see it. So again, the details inside. We have the guidebook. It says a quarter of the story still, and all of those, with all the meanings in the guidebook and how to read it. But I was getting ahead of myself. The foil is actually on the cards themselves for this one. So we're not going to do a full flip through yet, like I said, but it's just, I am a sucker for rainbow and holographic and just edging, and I think it's so pretty. Again, like if you put this next to the tarot deck, same backs, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. So again, you can use those together. And this one has the chair as the little background art with the ribbon to help get the cards in the book out. Just another little feature that I love to have in boxes, because sometimes it's really hard to get those cards out. So we have tarot, we have Oracle. Next is going to be the Lenormand. So if you have the Green Glyphs Lenormand from before, you've seen this already, but this is, you know, the repackaged, formatted so that it matches all the specs of everything else. Really pretty. Another little guidebook. Oops, another little guidebook. So Lenormand is a system that's different than tarot. Now you know a quarter of the story. Different than tarot, it's a lot more straightforward. You typically read Lenormand with more than one card. Tarot, you can do just a single card or a spread or whatever you want. Lenormand works best if you have more than one card. But it's super interesting and super just, it's weird how accurate it tends to be. I'm still getting comfortable with it, so I'm trying to use it more. So having decks like this that are so beautiful is really helpful for me to want to use it more. But yes, and you can see it has like the playing cards kind of embedded in it. Lenormand and playing cards are tied together. You'll learn more about how to read that in the guidebook, but the back looks the same as the other ones, same specs again. And the specs, for those of you who are interested, who want to know that sort of thing, the cards are 350 GSM art paper with a UV matte finish, and they're 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So standard Lenormand size again, all that pretty shine. All right, and then finally we have the rune deck, which is so cool because not only does it have the cards, it also has dice. So there's 24 runes and the 24 runes in the system, and this has a dice so that you have it's 3 8-sided dice so that you can have all of the runes in dice form. So it's really cool. Let me open it up. It's so pretty. You got the book again with all the information. The dice that you'll have, again, ooh, every time I get them out I always drop some, but the dice will have all 24 different runes on them. They're metal and they're really nice. They like just feel really good. So I like holding them. I like rolling them. It's very pleasing. I love a heavy dice. I play D&D, so like I always drawn to dice, and these are really nice. They're really nicely made and they have a good weight to them. So if you're a dice person, you will like these dice. So put those back in there. You can use them with the deck. You can use them separately. You can use them just to fidget with. It's it's pretty cool. You can use the deck by itself, but the cool thing is that runes can be hard if you're not used to the system, but these have images and symbolism that go with it. So that's going to be really helpful for anyone that's new to runes. We got a little picture in the background of the rune, and I just really like this one, and I think that honestly it's the dice that do it for me. Just so pretty and so cool. But yes, all the dice will be different with all 24 of the runes on them. And listen to that little snap. The last piece before we get into how pretty the artwork is in the box set itself is this glossary. So you can see it still has that embellishment underneath this like mini dust jacket, which is super cute. The same pattern that's on the deck backs are found in here as well. We have the gilded on the side of the pages. It's the kind of hardcover that's padded or cushioned almost, and it's really, really pretty. So this would look great on your bookshelf. Keep it in the set. You can buy it separately and get all the information. And it's really nice. It's all broken down into the sections, and then you have a way to use it all together at the end, which I think, oops, let me see, all together at the very end, which I think is like the coolest part of the book, just because you're not going to find those in the individual sections. It kind of explains his vision on using them all together, combining them using pieces, like how to read with all of them, and it's just really cool. And at the end, I love it because in the back of the other ones it was like a quarter of the story, and now it's and now you know, because you have the whole thing together. So it's just a really great finish to such a thoughtful collection, and I'm excited about it. I can't wait for people to start seeing more of it, to start backing it, to watch the progress on Kickstarter. James is, you know, he does great Kickstarters, and has beautiful decks, but look at the detailing inside this box. We have the Ouroboros and the moon, and then we have like a tree, we have little people and the willow and like paths, and it's just almost three-dimensional just because it's on the side of the box, and it just looks so cool and it's so pretty and really shows how much attention to detail he has in everything that he does. So I'm very excited about this part and this whole box set. So I'm going to put these back together, and then I'll give you a little bit of numbers. In my bio, I'm going to have links to James' social and his website and the Kickstarter and everything, you know, everything that you need to know to find this. Again, I'm going to be previewing and doing flip throughs of all these decks this month on my Instagram, so I'll put a link to that as well if you'd like to see the decks in their full glory. But for Kickstarter, like I said before, you get a little bit of a discount yourself if you help bring the projects to life and back them on Kickstarter, which is a huge, I think, perk to being a pledge, a backer on Kickstarter. So for this one, I'm going to give you all the prices individually for all 4 components, and then what the box set is and how much you would save if you got it on Kickstarter and helped bring it to life rather than wait and buy it later. So for the first deck, the tarot deck, it's going to be the biggest deck. So this one would be $40 on Kickstarter if you want just that deck. After Kickstarter, it'll be $45. For the Oracle deck, this one is going to be, let me see, $35 on Kickstarter and then $40 after. For the Lenormand, it is $30 on Kickstarter and $35 after. And then the best discount that you're going to be getting is on this rune deck. It's $30 on Kickstarter, but it'll be $40 retail after the fact, after the Kickstarter is over. And I think that's because the dice are such a high quality that you're really getting a lot for your pledge with Kickstarter. Then if you just want to get the guidebook, the glossary, the full color glossary, beautiful, that is $30 retail, but it'll get it for $25 on Kickstarter. So that's a really great bargain for you. And then what I always end up doing in these situations is I don't get one of them, I get all of them, and you can do that for this and save a lot. So if you wanted to get this entire box set, which would come packaged like this with everything together in that beautiful not dust jacket, the box, the beautiful box, that would be, it's going to be $155 on Kickstarter, but it will retail for $180. So definitely a really good idea to get them all if you're interested. It's worth the investment. High quality, beautiful, just such a cool concept. And I think it's going to be a deck that, or decks rather, that people are going to really love. So go ahead and check my description here for the video for all of that information on where to find it. Check out my Instagram to see more on the decks throughout the month, and go ahead and head on over to Kickstarter to back this gorgeous deck collection. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.